Many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Jada Pinkett Smith's downfall didn't just pop out of nowhere. It's been building for years. The pressure, the buried secrets, and the shady connections that everyone ignored are now exploding into the open. Ever since federal investigators started poking around, the streets haven't stopped talking, especially with Diddy catching real heat and Gene Deal spilling info that's making everyone look back at old Hollywood moments with fresh eyes. Now there's a wild rumor flying around that Jada's being investigated for her possible ties to Diddy's alleged crime ring, right alongside her husband, Will.
Walked around a Diddy and another male. They say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black?
Word is, law enforcement is looking into serious accusations involving Jaden Smith and even Jennifer Lopez. That's where things start getting even messier. The story goes that back when Diddy was dating Jennifer Lopez, he supposedly believed Will and Jada were making moves on her. Things reportedly got so tense that Diddy thought it might actually turn into a physical fight. Can you imagine the drama behind the scenes? That story only added more noise to the never-ending talk about Will and Jada's unconventional marriage.
That are black actors or black in the business, there's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy, that's black. That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black, that Rat Pack. And I don't want to even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner?
Jada later confirmed herself that their relationship had been anything but traditional. In her own book, she dropped the bomb that she and Will had been quietly separated since 2016, long before the public had any clue something was off. Will later spoke out, saying they never saw it as their job to make each other happy. Instead, each of them had to find their own peace before coming back together again. Divorce? Never part of the plan, he said.
Was it the other guy, Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats, but I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him, and him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true.
They promised to stick it out no matter how rough it got, even when things got seriously uncomfortable. In later interviews in his GQ cover story, Will admitted that both he and Jada had seen other people during different times in their marriage. What a complicated love story. Because of everything that's come out, people have started whispering that Will and Jada lived a lifestyle way wilder than anyone imagined. Some claim it went beyond open marriage stuff, alleging that they were caught up in twisted games that left people broken both emotionally and physically. We'll dive into all that deeper later, but for now, let's rewind to what the public does know. Jada's messy entanglement with singer August Alsina, which she openly talked about on Red Table Talk back in 2020. That conversation broke the internet. Red Table Talk became known for pulling no punches, tackling everything from personal confessions to shocking family moments. But then came another bombshell, this time about Jaden Smith. On one episode,
Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy.
Jada admitted she had introduced him to alternative mental health treatments years earlier while she was dealing with her own depression. Jaden said his curiosity led him to research plant-based therapies. Yep, the kind that use psychedelics. That's when things got messy because people started saying she basically led her own son into experimenting with drugs. The internet went wild over that one. Not long after, rumors spread that Jaden had moved out and legally separated himself from his parents. People were asking, why would a son go to those lengths to cut ties with his own family? That's when whispers started getting darker. Some online voices, including Jaguar Wright, have claimed that something unsettling might have happened between Will and Jaden, though nothing has ever been proven. Still, people pointed to old TV clips saying they looked suspicious. It's one of those claims that left fans disturbed and confused. But the accusations don't stop there. A man who used to be Will's close friend, Bilal, came forward with shocking claims of his own. He said the couple created an uncomfortable and chaotic environment that affected not just their friends, but even their kids' lives. Things reached a breaking point when Bilal directly called Jada out. He warned her that if she didn't take legal action against him, he'd spill everything he knew.
Then there was the moment on social media. She was 13 with a 22-year-old man in her bed.
Saw that.
It's no big deal. We were just hanging, they were just hanging out. I got 3 questions to ask about that.
1.
13, 22. Appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
Alone, appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
In your child's room, appropriate or inappropriate?
Definitely inappropriate.
Part B to that. In your child's room with the door closed, in the bed, half dressed.
Grab the shotgun.
On social media.
Hell no.
Who took that picture? That's
Who did?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
We cutting off our hair.
Red flags.
We laid up with old niggas.
When no lawsuit came, he said he went ahead and filed his own, and soon after, Bilal reportedly left the country. Before disappearing, Bilal hinted that some of Jaden's troubling experiences might have played a role in why he pushed for legal independence so young. He couldn't say too much because of ongoing legal issues surrounding the Smiths, but he promised to tell everything in writing. The most shocking part? Bilal alleged that Jada had even tried to silence him permanently, something that eerily mirrored how Diddy was accused of dealing with his own enemies. The drama around this family just keeps getting darker. Now that Diddy's locked up facing serious charges, the spotlight isn't just on him anymore. It's burning through everyone who stayed close to him for years. And guess who keeps getting dragged into the mix? Jada Pinkett Smith. Her name keeps popping up in every deep dive and every rumor thread out there. According to Gene Deal, there's a reason Jada's name won't disappear from these conversations. He claims that both she and Will might actually appear in some of those infamous tapes Diddy allegedly recorded during his secret freak-off parties. That's a huge claim, and it's got people's attention. Gene said Will and Jada were never outsiders. They were right in the center of that exclusive world. The same private parties, the same VIP rooms, the same elite crowd where insiders say things went down that the public was never supposed to see. When the topic came up about whether someone in the tapes wasn't black, Gene said that made total sense. Diddy didn't just roll with one circle, he was deep in Hollywood too. He had connections stretching far beyond hip-hop.
Yeah.
That's an old. When she was born, he was probably already trying to rub one out at the park.
Oh, man.
Think about the difference in that.
The imagery.
She's 13.
Okay.
She might have a period. Might. Breasts not fully formed. Pubescent. Hair not grown all the way in.
Man.
And this thing go to a bar and buy a beer and get a bit drunk in the backseat of his car and leave her out there with $20 and say, hope you make it home. Like,
The imagery.
That could be his Saturday night in LA.
So
And he's up in your daughter bed
yeah.
with his shirt off and shit, frolicking
You call it art.
on social media. Mean.
So
Somebody should have kicked the door in and beat that fucking ass.
Rubbing shoulders with major A-list names. When people started pointing out that Justin Bieber, Will Smith, and Diddy had all been in the same private settings, the internet started asking real questions. What exactly was happening at those gatherings? That's when Jaguar Wright's bold accusations started hitting harder than ever. She's been saying for years that Jada's power and influence didn't exist on their own. She claims Jada was part of the same Hollywood power web that Diddy ruled over. Behind those closed doors, the kind of behavior that would shock regular people was apparently treated like no big deal. Jaguar even brought up the infamous Chris Rock incident, saying Will didn't just act on impulse. She claimed Will actually laughed at the joke like everyone else, but everything shifted the moment he saw Jada's reaction. According to her, that glare from Jada changed everything in an instant.
Situation that I considered private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business.
Yeah.
But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Kicked me to
I
the
was
curb.
done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship.
Throughout the whole discussion, Jaguar keeps hammering the same truth. This is what goes down in those elite circles where the rules don't apply the same way. It's a world where people like Diddy get protected, where Jada moved around like she belonged, and where actions that would freak out any normal family get brushed off as growth or creative expression. It's wild to think about how deep this culture runs. But here's where it gets even darker. Jaguar claims the harm didn't stop with the Smiths' own family.
Medicine 10 years ago to deal with my depression, and it knocked it out.
Something Jada says she can speak to from personal experience.
What it does, unlike just going to therapy and putting people on Prozac, right? Which I did that too.
Which that is not successful for so many people.
And that's the thing. So for me, I had struggled with depression for so long. Crippling depression. So the thing about the plant medicine is that not only does it help you.
She says Will still hasn't taken responsibility for the young people who were supposedly hurt while under his watch and influence. These weren't random strangers. These were young men who trusted him, who looked up to him. Jaguar points out that there's a pattern you can't ignore. She talks about how several young men connected to Will started changing drastically over time. Different personalities, emotional breakdowns, public outbursts, even strange moments caught on camera.
At a birthday party that I think either Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck, it was just a little gathering. They was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and they were sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that.
She says these aren't coincidences. These are signs of something deeper, the kind of trauma that leaves invisible scars. She specifically mentions one young man, Briar Gray, saying what breaks her heart most is that he still seems to crave approval from the same system that hurt him in the first place.
He stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, and then he went like this, and I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close because I'm going to snuff them.
Jaguar claims she personally tried to step in.
Feel better, but it helps you solve the problems of how you got there in the first place.
It was always in my head talking, telling me what I was and what I wasn't. And for the first time, I had like a ego dissolution where I was like, that was the moment that really changed me. You get to a place in your life where you're blocked by something, whether it's a trauma, whether it's your emotions, your ego, not being able to express yourself. And then I feel like psychedelics are a way to tear down that wall and see what's beyond it. Doing it guided with people that are professionals, I feel like really increases the chances of having that mystical
tried to pull people away from the danger, tried to push them towards safer spaces. But every time, she says, powerful figures stepped in to stop her.
I said to myself, Will Smith gonna beat the shit out you. Now, Puff could scrap now, but I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Well, he could scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that shit. So I didn't go back over there where.
Why? Because protecting their image and their money came first. Jaguar's final point hits hard. She says none of this was random. Diddy didn't act alone. According to her, he had a whole network.
Will Smith's sister and her husband was, I stay about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in. Yeah, but that shit was funny. He thought that Jada and Will was coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advance.
Parents, executives, mentors, and celebrity families who turned a blind eye, gave access, and let harmful behavior slide. These weren't outsiders looking in. They were insiders making the system run. And in Jaguar's eyes, Will and Jada weren't innocent bystanders. They were part of that inner circle, the ones trusted to keep the illusion alive. But now that Diddy's alleged crimes are under serious investigation, that spotlight is finally spreading. It's reaching the enablers, the protectors, and the ones who handed over vulnerable talent to that dangerous orbit. This story ain't over. It's just beginning. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in, because the next part of this story is about to get even crazier. You don't want to miss what's coming next.